The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc. As everybody is coming into the room and getting their audios and their videos connected. If you are here live with us, make sure that you have that chat option open also, so that you can see all of the valuable information that is being shared by our lovely co-hosts that we have with us today. So today we have Sherry Browning and also Marilyn Pizzera here helping with the chat and letting people in and making sure everybody is getting connected. So again, make sure that you have that chat open. If you're watching us live stream, come join us. Come to dailywithDocZoom.com and you can join in on the actual live presentation. Raise that virtual hand that you can find if you click on reactions from the Zoom menu. And raise the hand so that you can ask questions for Dr. Wallach. Also, we are always here to help you Monday through Friday from noon to 1 Pacific time. So do the math. If you're in Mountain Time, that's 1 to 2. Central Time, 2 to 3. Eastern Time, 3 to 4. Atlantic Time, 4 to 5. And if you are in South Africa, not South America, but South Africa, then it's about 11 p.m. your time, unless my math is wrong. So my name is Becca Dukes, and I am honored to be the hostess of this program, Daily with Doc, where we bring empowering information that was a light of hope for me, because I had so many things going on that I had been told were genetic and I would just have to live with. Things that I had been pushed off to pain management, saying that I would just have to deal with the pain the rest of my life, take pharmaceutical drugs if I didn't want to be in as much pain as I was. And many of the things I was allergic to, or was having very severe reactions that I did not like the side effects. Well, I was listening to the radio, or a friend of mine was listening to the radio, and he called me up and say, "Hey, check this doctor out. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it later. So I did. And I thought it kind of strange because, you know, this individual disliked doctors with a very strong dislike, capitalized, all the above. And so I'm like, okay, why would he want me to check out a doctor? Well, guess what? This doctor that we are referring to started out as a veterinarian. His patients couldn't tell him what was going on. He was also a pathologist, and he has 3 doctorates in pathology, where he was going around the world, in fact, funded by the National Institute of Health. $25 million grant was the accumulated amount of this study and research that he had been doing to determine pollutions and how they affected the body. Well, he went deeper than that and actually went into the nutrients and the deficiencies of nutrients and how they affect the body. And folks, if it wasn't for the fact that I experienced what I was experiencing and went through from barely surviving to now thriving, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing today. I full-heartedly believe in this, and I am so honored to be able to bring to you Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, you are one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics that proves that genetic theory to be incorrect. I just want to thank you for all of the work that you have done, because if it wasn't for the work that you have done, I wouldn't be able to be here on camera with you Monday through Friday and help you spread this message. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, and thank you to your team and all the things that you ladies and guys do. And we're definitely making progress. We're picking up countries very, very rapidly, because people are weary of just taking a painkiller. People are weary of just taking something that causes you to, what should I say, a little more flexibility or something like that. But over time, things continue to get worse. It's really not dealing with the issues. It turns out that most of these things the doctors have dealt with, pain relief and symptom relief over the years, are just simple nutritional deficiencies. They're not genetic, and there are no genetically transmitted diseases, and there are no, we're talking about birth defects, we're talking about diabetes and high blood pressure and Alzheimer's disease, which we're going to talk about today. We're talking about arthritis. We're talking about asthma. We're talking about heart disease, cancer. None of these things are genetic or autoimmune in any way, shape, or form. And doctors just sort of made that up to kind of CYA kind of thing. Well, the reason why we can't deal with this is it's your body attacking itself. No, they just didn't know the answers, so they were blaming you for being deficient in nutrients. Okay, and because nutrition does not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. It occurs, especially mineral nutrition, it occurs in veins like gold and silver. And prior to 1882, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, on the bluff overlooking the construction of Brooklyn Bridge, when Thomas Edison pulled that switch and started the first commercial electric generating plant in New York, prior to that, our fuel was wood and coal for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And people learned to put the wood ashes and coal ashes into our garden, because wood ashes and coal ashes are like 98% minerals and 2 or 3% carbon. And grandma would put some of the wood ashes into our food as a spice. We're getting minerals directly that way. But then at that time, when we went over 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, to electricity, suddenly now there were no more wood ashes and no more coal ashes. And this it changed everything. Okay, good. You got the picture up. Hell's Kitchen, named after that terrible district in New York City. There you go. That terrible district in New York City. Very bad thing in the world happens. Hell's Kitchen is a perfect description of what was going on here. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Monday, September 4th, we said that. And then it comes down to, it's one of those things where we have to pay attention to all the details here because we have to be responsible for taking care of ourselves. Some of you are old enough to remember Bottomland. And prior to electricity, every spring when the snow and the ice would melt up in the mountains, the creeks and rivers would fill and they'd get all the silt and mud and dirt from around up there in the mountains. And they bring it down into the valley and it would flood the valleys. And within weeks, that flood water would dissipate, go down in the soil or go away one way or another, and would leave maybe anywhere from a quarter of an inch to a couple inches of silt that it had brought down from the mountains. And the farmers would plow that back in and renew the soil's vitality because the previous year, all their crops had sucked all the minerals out of the soil. And Bottomland, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, was renewing, even before man came along, was renewing these minerals that came down from the mountains in floodwater. So it's one of those things where, as a kid, I'm taking all this stuff in. And the story is what they say ongoing. Well, we're continuing to get misinformation from the medical system. It's really tragic. The things that go on with the brain are not genetic, they're not autoimmune. And they're the second biggest, well, no, I shouldn't say second, they're about the third or fourth biggest cost we have. When you take them all together, it's about the second biggest cost of all the disease we have. So let's look at some of these. Okay, we're going to look at some of these diseases. Let's start out with one that everybody knows, Alzheimer's disease. We spend $305 billion with a B, $305 billion each year just to treat the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Not to prevent it, not to cure it, okay, but just to treat the symptoms. 305 billion. Holy moly, okay? And then we have MS, multiple sclerosis, okay, which is a form of demyelination. The white matter of the brain is going away. And oh, by the by, 25% of your brain weight is cholesterol and 25% of your spinal cord weight is cholesterol, except the white matter of the brain, myelin. And we hear them say, oh, they've got demyelinating diseases, and that's why they have all the short circuiting of their nerves. The transmissions fall off the nerve before they get down to your legs and that kind of stuff in the brain. And myelin is cholesterol, okay? And doctors made a horrible, 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 deadly, expensive, troublesome mistake over 100 years ago when they said, oh, the blockages in your coronary arteries, your heart arteries, the blockages in your arteries around your body, including your kidneys and your lungs and your brain and your heart, are due to cholesterol plugging your arteries. Nope. It was from cooking badly, frying, using oils like salad dressing and cooking oils, and using margarine instead of butter and all that kind of stuff. And getting away from cholesterol made things worse. Okay. So we have Alzheimer's disease, we have MS, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is multiple sclerosis of the spinal cord. We have Parkinson's disease, which is multiple sclerosis with tremors. And now we got a new one, okay, FTD, frontal temporal dementia. And it's basically Alzheimer's disease that specifically affects the temporal regions of the brain and the frontal region of the brain, all right? And whereas Alzheimer's disease is pretty much the entire brain is afflicted one way or another, primarily demyelination. And then, of course, demyelinating diseases. Now, I have to tell you that these are easily prevented and they're easily reversed, okay? And you have to take the 90 essential nutrients. I like the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which has 215 nutrients. The core is still the 90. And I like the Synaptive, 3 of those twice a day so that your brain cells talk to each other, okay? I like the I-26, which comes in powder, capsules, and chewables. Okay, the I-26, it says right on the label, contains 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. What? It's the only product in the market in the world that says that on the label, contains 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol to maintain your brain, your spinal cord, your peripheral nerves. Okay, so everything works because you cannot function without cholesterol. And so when people started getting on cholesterol reduced diets, getting on statin drugs to lower their cholesterol, all these things started just flaring up. And, you know, one of the more recent ones is that FTD, frontal temporal dementia. And the symptoms are really extreme symptoms of Guillain-Barré syndrome to me, and MS and so on. And also including the memory piece. And Bruce Willis just had to retire a month or so ago because he had really severe FTD, frontal temporal dementia. And, you know, we're trying to get the word out to him because I can reverse all that. These things are reversible. Alzheimer's disease is reversible. So why don't doctors reverse it? Well, they're getting paid $305 billion a year just to treat the symptoms. Do you want to kill and eat the dairy cow? Or do you want to milk the dairy cow every day? They're milking the dairy cow every day by treating the symptoms. Okay, come on, Wallach, that's kind of hard, isn't it? Well, that's factual. Remember, I'm a pathologist. I've done over 32,000 autopsies. You know, some projects, you know, like 20,000, 1,700, those kinds of numbers. And it's not that I'm smarter than anybody else, but I'm more experienced than most. And I do have very, what should I say, deep knowledge into things that most people, even other pathologists, don't have. They just don't have the numbers, okay, and the diversity. I'm dealing with over 400 species of animals, okay, with over 400 species of animals. And of course, when it comes to the brain, there's 37 different diseases. Doctors like to send you to all their, they send you to all their classmates. And there's a CD that comes along with this. It's a book and a CD set. And then we have the newest one. It's only been out for a couple of months now, the Wallach Revolution. It's a 75-year track record, okay? A 75-year track record of our major discoveries. There's a lot of little discoveries that we don't have in there, and that's why you got to get a hold of the book. It's over 300 pages, okay? Epigenetics, we started a whole new science. Epigenetics, we started a whole new science. And the book that's in the Smithsonian Institute is a national treasure, has over 1,000, I think it's like 1,300 pages or something like that. It represents 20,000 autopsies. It's my thesis. It's in the Smithsonian Institute, a national treasure. I'm very, very proud of that. That sells for $25,000, so most average Americans don't get a copy. But you can go to Amazon and say, hey, are there any of Dr. Wallach's book, Disease of Exotic Animals, available for sale? And they'll show you some. They're like, you can get them for 8,000, 10,000 because the dog peed on them, or the corners are folded down and there's writing in the margins and that kind of, and underlined and so forth. And so what we're doing now is we're taking each chapter in that book, Disease of Exotic Animals, and making it a book. Instead of a chapter, we're making it into a book with all its own references and so forth. The first one, and it's not yet quite out. It'll be out in another week or two, okay? The first chapter is on primates, and why was the first chapter on primates? Okay, that's because I really, really got deeply involved in this when they fired me from Yerkes Primate Center when I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, thought to be a genetic birth defect. And this is me in 1976, okay, 1976. That's me at Yerkes Primate Center with one of my rhesus monkeys that had cystic fibrosis. And I sent them slides. I didn't tell them it's from a monkey. I just said, I think this is, I sent 5 medical schools the slides. I said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they said, oh yeah, classic example. And I told them, well, this is from a monkey going into space monkey at Yerkes Primate Center, Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I think we can start a colony of these monkeys that, you know, they're going to be laboratory animals. And they were so excited. Then I said, okay, I got 24 other baby monkeys that have it, and they are not related to this original monkey at all. And all the story, of course, and the publications are in that book, called Primates. That's chapter number 1. Now it's a book. And then there'll be chapter number 2 and chapter number 3. Each one of them will be a book. Okay. So that's like 20 books, 20 more books coming out. But the newest one right now, 75-year track record. And we have so many famous people in there, okay, going over their story. Okay, we're talking about Pat Boone, Danny Glover, Andy Young, Theo Ratliff, Evander Holyfield. And, I could go on and on and on, but you get the drift. And these guys are telling their stories. Kelly Herron, a female All-American basketball player, okay? And she had terrible, terrible stuff going on. And she was still going to the University of Tennessee. And she came to one of my meetings because, I was on the local radio stations when I was there giving talks. And so she came and told me her story, and we rebuilt her. And within a couple of months, she was able to get her position back on the team, and she became an All-American, All-American basketball player for the University of Tennessee. So very, very proud of that. That's a Kelly Herron. You can look her up. And so don't forget Alzheimer's disease. You want to eat 3 eggs twice a day. Soft yolks, soft scrambled butter, soft poached, soft boiled. I have 3 for breakfast and 3 for dinner time. And then I have my I-26, 25% of my daily dose of cholesterol at lunchtime. I like the chewables because I can take them with me, so I don't have the powder all over the place and 3 more pills I have to take. Okay, so I like the chewables, and they don't taste bad. They're not sweet or anything like that. They don't have a lot of sugar in them. They're just sort of what I would call pleasant, and even little kids like them. Pleasant. They're not bitter or anything like that. And so that's giving you the cholesterol you need to maintain the brain. Now, again, in a couple of months, I'll be 84. And most people say, come on, Wallach, you sound like you're 50, 60 years old. You can't be 84. Well, yeah, I am. Okay, I only had prescription drugs for 3 days out of my entire life, IV antibiotics, because I had a puncture wound falling in a trench up in Canada, construction trench, that punctured all over the place. So they gave me IV. I really didn't have a choice. They put me in the hospital, gave me IV antibiotics. But they wanted to cut my legs off. And no, I'll die with my legs on. You're not going to cut my legs off, so I still have my legs. Now, I'm saying these things because we have so many programs for over 600 different diseases. We have 5,000 products. We deal with 600 different diseases. And the first ones were named after animals because I was treating people, and I was not a physician yet. I was a veterinarian, and I knew I was going to get in trouble as a veterinarian treating people. So I put, the pig pack on the Healthy Start Pack name, okay? The pig pack says, well, this is a pig program, and if people want to take it, they can, no problem. And then I had the pig arthritis formula, okay? And then we got so many, I just, I could only do so many things with the pigs. And so then we have the hair, skin, and nails. We have the let's see here, the blood sugar pack. We have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets for high blood pressure. And it's one of those things where, again, we treat over 600 different diseases. Now, this freaks doctors out because they call up their patients. They say, hey, we haven't heard from you in a couple of months. Where you been? You're supposed to be here for your appointment. Well, I don't have high blood pressure anymore. What? What do you mean you don't have it anymore? It's a genetic thing. No, I don't have it anymore. I've been taking this Healthy Start Pack and the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, and my high blood pressure went away in just a couple of days. Well, don't you need dialysis anymore? No, I'm urinating 3 times a day and 3 times a night. I don't need dialysis anymore either. I hadn't urinated in 10 years. I was taking dialysis 6 days a week, but now, just after a couple of weeks on this program, I don't need dialysis anymore. And so this has gone around the world, and we're I don't know how many countries we're on now. I think probably 85 countries now. Up until a couple of months ago, we're only on 80 countries, but the number of countries has been going up. And I'm very excited because we have a whole new project coming up, And this is bringing other countries in because it's freaking them out. Do we have answers for things that their doctors believe were genetic and autoimmune, because they were taking the information from European medical schools and doctors, American medical schools and doctors, and the information was incorrect. The diagnosis was correct, but saying that it was a genetic disease or saying that it was an autoimmune disease, your body's attacking itself, was incorrect. Just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. And we figured out a way to get it into people comfortably. They don't have to come in for IVs and injections or anything like that. And we have these programs, the basic programs, say the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has 215 nutrients in it. And then we have all these adjunctive things to add to it, you know, healthy blood, the sweeties for blood sugar, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets for high blood pressure. We have the, let's see here, collagen peptides in the MSM and glucogel for arthritis and osteoporosis, those kind of things. And then, of course, we have Synaptive for things going on in your brain and spinal cord. And, you know, Memory FX, and, you know, I could go on and on and on. Of course, we have the digestive enzymes for people with irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, celiac disease. All these things are totally reversible. All of these things are totally reversible. And we're so very excited about this. And people are coming to us from around the world now in a landslide, okay? A landslide on land and a flood on the great waters. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Rebecca and see where we're at here.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. I totally agree that, you know, what we put into our body or don't put into our body, especially when it's something that is needed to thrive, you're not going to get the results that you're hoping for when it comes to growing old gracefully. So, Dr. Wallach, all of your research that you have done has been instrumental in changing lives around the world. We're all made from the dust.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your color of your skin is. It doesn't matter. And there's a couple of instances where gender does matter, okay, because women don't have prostate glands and that kind of stuff. And boys don't have ovaries and so forth. But, you know, other than that kind of stuff, everything's the same. And it's one of those things where it doesn't matter when you have horses, whether they're a Palomino or a white horse or a black horse or a Pinto horse. When you take the skin off, it's all the same underneath the skin. And so what works nutritionally for a white person works for a black person. What works for a European person works for an Asian person, and so on. And so this is why this has gone around the world like crazy, because, you know, we're on Zooms all over the world. You know, just earlier today, I was doing a Zoom into England and Spain. Okay. And so that was kind of fun. I do regularly Zooms into Australia and New Zealand and to the Philippines and so on. And so I do Zooms all over America and Canada. Okay. And it's one of those things where they just keep coming on and on and on and on. And I'm looking forward to the day when none of these diseases will exist, because everybody will be taking these nutrients and avoiding the bad stuff so you can maximize absorption. That's another piece. You do have to get rid of the bad stuff so you can maximize absorption efficiently. And because if you put it in your mouth and it's coming out the other end because your intestines are dead because you're eating gluten and phagopyrines. What are phagopyrines? Well, phagopyrines are things that you find in buckwheat. And it'll say right on the label of buckwheat bags and boxes and cans and so forth, gluten-free, which is absolutely true. But they have phagopyrines in there, which they don't put on the label, and most of them, which are worse than gluten. They destroy your intestines. And the phagopyrines in buckwheat produce lupus and contribute to rheumatoid arthritis and all these other things that are said to be autoimmune by the medical system, which are really just nutritional deficiency diseases. Okay. And so they're easily gotten rid of. Rheumatoid, I don't care if you've had rheumatoid arthritis for 45 years, you give me 6 weeks, it'll be gone. Or maybe sometimes in 2 weeks. Same way with things like, I said Alzheimer's disease, we already said those kinds of things in the brain. Those things go away very quickly. And rheumatoid arthritis, you just take our Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, okay, Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, to give the bones and cartilage and tendons and ligaments what they need. But then you also have to throw in the minocycline to kill the bug mycoplasma, which causes it to be the arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. And then all of the rheumatoid arthritis will go away because it's not a autoimmune thing that's killing you. Same way with lupus. It's not an autoimmune thing. It's just, celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, skin disease, dementia. It's all part of the lupus thing. And, we get rid of lupus in weeks. I don't care if, again, you've had for 20, 30, 40 years, it goes away in weeks because it's a simple nutritional deficiency disease, not autoimmune.
Well, I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, that there are secret sauces in those thousands of products that help us to have that digestive system that can function properly, and helping to break down those fats and those proteins and those carbohydrates and give the body the bile. I can't believe how many people.
Yeah, we call it the gallbladder in the bottle.
I can't believe how many people, Dr. Wallach, that I come across who no longer have their gallbladder. Oh, the doctor told me that I wouldn't need it. It was just causing me some digestive issues, so they took it out. I'm like, well, did that solve your digestive issues? No, actually, they got worse because you no longer have that bile that breaks down the fats.
And you cannot absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and essential fatty acids for respiratory stuff and preventing blood clots and strokes and stuff like that. Do not let them take your gallbladder out. What we do, if that's already happened, we have the gallbladder in a bottle. Okay, it's called our ultimate enzymes. Ultimate enzymes is a gallbladder in a bottle. Has bile in it. It's actually in the bottle. And so I take 2 of those, 3 of those twice a day, depending on what I'm going to be eating that day. I'll take a minimum of 2, probably 75% of the time, 3 of the ultimate enzymes twice a day. And if I'm really going to have a steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'll take 3 with each meal. Okay.
And you still have your gallbladder?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I still have
taking it.
I've had nothing removed out of my body.
So it's just giving your body that extra support. I take the enzymes with each meal. And there are sometimes, folks, where we eat way too much and we're just feeling bloated. One of my favorite products for that, there's actually 2 of them. One of them is called Digest FX and the other one is Microbiome. Both of them. And then, there's a third one, Root Beer Belly. They all help to ease that discomfort because it's adding more of what the body needs to break down that food to create that that's in the stomach that's supposed to be there. Heartburn and acid reflux is not because you have too much acid. It's because you don't have enough and the food is sitting there and it is fermenting and causing issues. Well, let's get that food digesting through the body so that the nutrients within it can then be absorbed. We can eliminate and have a great life, right, Doc?
Absolutely. We have to be proactive and do our thing. And I think, that's the message. And again, this is why this book is so important. The Wallach Revolution. Okay, the Wallach Revolution. 75-year track record of our major discoveries. And many of these discoveries were on very famous people. And so they're telling their own story. Many of them, most of them are telling their own story. And some of the famous people are telling not only their own stories, but stories of other famous people. Okay.
That led them to you.
That's correct.
And then there's those of us who, were not so famous. And that's okay. Because
90% of the people we take care of are not so famous. They're just an average American, which are the greatest of peoples. Okay. The average American are great people. Okay. And they deserve the best of the best of the best.
Dr. Wallach, stop for a moment. We're not here just for Americans.
That's true. We're all over the world.
And not the average human being is a great person.
Oh, yeah. I Ditto that.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't want to leave anybody out. And for those of you who are not so great people, it could be because you have a really bad digestive system and that gut-brain connection is being hindered and toxic. And you need the nutrients too, so that you can also be part of this great community Dr. Wallach is talking about. So, Dr. Wallach, I just want to thank everybody for being here with us. We've got a full house and we have hands up. I'm so excited. Now, folks, as you are watching this program, whether you're here for the live, whether you're watching a replay, whether you're out there on Rumble, YouTube, or Facebook, following us here on Critical Health News, because this program is being sponsored by Critical Health News, but it is I got to get all these shows right, Dr. Wallach. Daily with Doc, brought to you by dailywithdoc.com. If you were invited by this to watch this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them. If they might have a special way of ordering, Dr. Wallach is going to be mentioning products. The best place to get the products, folks, is not just online where you find somebody, but the person or the newsletter that provided you the information that helped you find this program. All right. You get it from a big box outlet online somewhere, you are not going to have that personal service and customer service that you would get from a health coach. And we have a full team of health coaches. If you have never spoken to anybody about longevity or any of the products that Dr. Wallach is mentioning, we have a call team standing by at 855-949-3377. So let's go to the first hand that is up, and Farhan, welcome. Go ahead and mute yourself.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for taking my call and everything you guys do. So I had two questions if there was time. The first would be about egg whites. So I eat egg whites. Is that a problem? Or should I not take them or eat them at all? Or maybe a couple hours before or after a meal? Can I take my minerals or just avoid egg whites?
Your egg whites, you want to take them with breakfast and dinner. I weigh 142 pounds and I take 3 soft poached eggs. Okay, sometimes it'll be soft scrambled in butter, but I'd say about 80% of the time they're soft poached. And then 20% of the time they're soft scrambled in butter, not margarine, but butter. And I've been doing this for like 75 years kind of thing, okay? Egg whites and egg yolks are good for you. Just don't eat them raw, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Now, I have another question about my cousin. She is 5'5" tall, 120 pounds. She has lupus, acute kidney injury or disease. She's on dialysis 3 times a week. She has headaches all the time, dizziness sometimes, weakness in the legs and pain. And she wakes up, she mentioned waking up once or twice to use the bathroom at nighttime. I don't know if that's daily, but when I asked her, she told me that.
Okay. Lupus, okay, is secondary to consumption of gluten. Okay, it's multiple nutritional deficiencies. It's not an autoimmune disease. All right, we already said that earlier. Dialysis means that they've got problems with their kidneys, arteries. Okay, so the kidney can't filter the dirty blood because it can't get the dirty blood. Okay, so let's see here. Did we say how much this gal weighs?
Yeah, about 120 pounds.
120 pounds. Okay, I want her to get rid of all the bad foods. We have a book. It's called Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, and it has 300 pages of safe recipes and also safe cooking methods. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Very important. That's the basics. You got to stay away from the bad foods because otherwise you're killing your intestines, and just taking supplements on top of dead intestines don't work very well. Then 120 pounds, she's right at that cusp. So let's start out with 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, a half a dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself. Then I also want her to have the, let's see here, Synaptive. She can take 2 bottles a month of that. So you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. She needs 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. She needs the I-26 at lunchtime. She could have, say, 1 or 2 of the chewables or 2 or 3 of the capsules. And for the lupus, I also want her to throw in addition to all that, I want her to throw in the hair, skin, and nails. Hair, skin, and nails. And the skin issues will go very, very quickly. The nail stuff will go away quickly. But she's got to stay away from all the bad foods, and the bowel problems will go away. Okay, because the bowel problems are contributing significantly to the skin issues and the brain issues and so forth. And to go along with lupus. And see, I think we covered lupus. We covered let's see here. I think we covered most of her issues, including diabetes and all that kind of stuff, and dialysis. And okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
All right. Thank you so much, Farhan, for coming on with us. Dr. Wallach, let's just move right on to the next hand that is up. And Miss Hattie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Grand Rising, good afternoon. Thank you.
Hello.
Dr. Wallach, if possible, I have 2 women. One of them, she's 46 years of age. She's 5 feet, 220 pounds. She has been diagnosed with, anyway, she has stage 4 CKD, stage 4 kidney disease, gallbladder issues. She's taking cholesterol meds, diuretics, high blood pressure, and diabetes.
High blood pressure and diabetes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have to appreciate that being overweight, if she's 5 foot tall, she needs to, weigh 100 pounds. So she's 120 pounds overweight. I want her to get 1 of our keto shake meals a day. It's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. It's a meal replacer, and it comes in chocolate and strawberry. And so I would have her get it, half of her month on one flavor, half the other flavor, so she can alternate so it's not boring. Then that's the keto shake. Again, it's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. Then I want her to have 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. The Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has 215 nutrients. The core is still the 90 essential nutrients. I want to have a full dose of everything twice a month. That's 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. I want her to have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. I want her to take 3 of our ultimate enzymes at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That'll be 3 bottles a month of the ultimate enzymes. Okay, we call it the gallbladder in a bottle. Okay, it actually has bile in it to help absorb fat soluble vitamins, also the healthy essential fatty acids and so forth. All right. Then I also want her, and again, the gallbladder in a bottle, the ultimate enzymes, because she has her gallbladder removed. Okay. And then the high blood pressure I want her to take, and also for the dialysis, I want her to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. That's 3 words. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I want her to take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That's 2 bottles a month. And that's going to help her with blood flow through the brain, the heart, the kidneys, every place else. And then I also, because she has diabetes, want her to get 2 bottles a month of our sweeties. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That's 2 bottles a month. Don't cold turkey off the medication either for the high blood pressure or the diabetes. But as the blood pressure begins to come down, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. As the blood sugar begins to come down, she can reduce the blood sugar medication based on the numbers. I always tell people, give me 90 days. You're going to see a dramatic improvement. In most cases, many of these things will just totally go away. Now, here comes the ultimate question. How long do you have to stay on all these nutrients? Forever. Forever. You can reduce the amount a little bit. You go from 220 pounds down to 100 pounds. Okay, you can cut all my doses down in half, but you can't give them up. When can you go without oxygen? Never. When can you go without water? Never. Okay, you cannot go without these essential nutrients. Otherwise, you will get back in trouble again within months. You don't just put dirt from Texas in your car because there's bound to be some oil in it. You put high quality oil in there. You put transmission fluid in. You put brake fluid in. You put antifreeze in, and so forth. You take good care of your car. Most people take better care of their car than they take better care of themselves. So you do have to take these things specifically. Don't think you can get it all from your food. You cannot. You cannot get much from your food.
Ashe. So, Dr. Watt, this last client, she has some type of cirrhosis. She says it's okay. She has primary biliary cirrhosis, vestibular migraines.
Okay, wait a minute. She got primary liver.
Yeah, primary biliary cirrhosis.
Biliary.
Okay, cirrhosis, vestibular migraines,
Okay, so she got headaches.
and and she has dermal fibrosis.
She got fibrosis of her skin, dermal.
Dermal, yes.
Okay.
And night sweats and joint pain. And she's 46, 43, 164 pounds, 5'2".
Okay. I'd like, answers to two more questions. How many times does she wake up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times? I also wanted to know.
She had a 0 for that.
Okay, good. That's good. And then I also want to know if she has any tinnitus or ringing in the ears or voice changes and swallowing.
She has a lot of numbness.
Numbness in her hands?
Numbness in her hands and feet.
And feet, okay. Yeah, she could have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, and so that's all possible. And you say she weighs 164 pounds, something like that?
Yes.
Okay, got to get rid of all the bad food. She needs Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose everything twice a day. I'm going to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to help her rebuild her joints, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the skull, and also the bone marrow to make white blood cells and antibodies and so forth. I also need her to have our ultimate enzymes. She can take 3 of those twice a day. Okay, it'll be 2 bottles a month. That's going to help her absorb nutrition. Okay, and let's see here. I also want her to have 3 eggs twice a day for her brain stuff. Okay, migraines. I also want her. It could be osteoporosis of the skull, and doctors are diagnosing it as migraines, but it's osteoporosis of the skull. Let's see here. So I do need her to take the I-26. Take our I-26. She needs 3 doses a day of the I-26. It comes in powder, chewables, or capsules, and she can. I take 3 of the chewables at lunchtime myself. Is how I take mine. All right. So let's go there. And also she needs our Rebound, our sports drink. She needs a Rebound, our sports drink for energy. Our sports drink has 100 nutrients in it. Rebound, okay, has 100 nutrients in it. Red Bull has 1 mineral in it. 1 mineral, magnesium. We have 75 minerals. Red Bull has 4 vitamins. We have 25 vitamins, amino acids in there. Okay. And so she needs, at 164 pounds, I'd have her take a minimum of 2, maybe 3 of our Rebounds a day. And it comes in canisters. Okay. And it's, a canister like this, powder, has 36 doses in it. comes in an orange box. It has 30 of these sticks in there, and the powder and the sticks have the 100 nutrients in there, including the 75 minerals. And then, of course, we have cans. But the cans do have carbonation in them, so you have to pop them. I pop 2 of these at night before I go to bed, put them in the refrigerator, and by morning, all the bubbly is gone. They're flat. And so I have one with breakfast, and I'll have one around noon or right after the radio show here, kind of thing, before 3 o'clock. Because after 3, 4 o'clock, it might keep you up all night. Okay. And so this is, you got to work hard. You got to give your body everything it needs. You can't just say, well, I'm eating well. That doesn't work. It killed Bruce Lee, the famous fitness guru, at 32. He died at 32 of a heart attack because he believed the doctors who told him, don't waste your money on taking vitamins, just exercise, okay, and eat well. And he took 1 mineral, magnesium.
On it.
He was very short, okay, of being complete.
Still working.
Dr. Wallach, is it possible to tell me what biliary cirrhosis is?
Biliary cirrhosis is scar tissue of the liver. The bile duct system is called biliary system. It's all the little bile ducts in the liver that bring all the bile down to the gallbladder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means the liver is undergoing cirrhosis. Okay, and they don't have to be drinking alcohol to have biliary cirrhosis. Okay, it's it's due to a nutritional deficiency. And if you're not getting bile into your intestines to absorb nutrition, and you're not supplementing with the 90 essential nutrients to get nutrition, and you're eating gluten, wheat, brown, rye, and oats, that's why you're in trouble. You have all these bad things going on. It results in all these bad things.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
Thank you. Yes, it makes perfect sense. I appreciate it.
Okay. Keep us
All
informed,
right.
because these people heal very quickly if they do exactly as we've said and avoid all the bad stuff. You have to do both. You have to avoid the bad stuff as well as take all the good stuff, okay?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And here we got Stevie who came over from YouTube. Stevie, you have a quick question for Dr. Wallach. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. I think so.
Uh-oh. Audio's not connected. I see that she's trying to speak. Let's try one more time.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I am totally new. I have seen you 2 days ago just for the last 15 minutes because it popped on my screen. I have a younger voice and I look young, but I'm 61. I am 5'5" and I weigh 216 down from 265. I was under extreme chronic stress. It's like a bad B movie. I had to sleep with a gun literally beside my head to protect my grandma. It was a 1.5 years of hell. I had such chronic stress that it squished my arteries.
I'm missing what you have. I'm not hearing.
Well, this is what I'm telling you. My arteries got squished. I don't have high cholesterol, but I had a heart attack. And then they told me because of my stress, I got diabetes. Then they gave me a plethora of medicine, and now I have dementia. So I just kind of weaned down on the medicine. I'm only on metoprolol, 12.5 milligrams, and a baby aspirin, and that's it. Because
So stop. We only have seconds here. So you have diabetes, or a medication for diabetes.
metoprolol, which I'm not taking anymore.
Okay. Let's see here. You have dementia. Okay. Now this difficult to remember things.
Medicine. Because of the medicine. They gave me medicine that made me forgetful, and then I tested as dementia, mild.
Okay. How many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
Maybe once, and not every night.
Okay. And you had a heart attack. Did they give you a name for it? Was it cardiomyopathy heart attack, or was it a blood clot heart attack? What kind of heart attack do you have?
They just said my arteries squished because of so much stress. I asked them. They just said I have heart damage. It was the 7th of last November, and I have angina every day, and I take nitro when it gets really bad and I want to stay out of the
Okay,
hospital.
so let's get going here. You gotta get rid of all the bad stuff that got you in trouble. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils. When I say no processed meats, I'm talking about ham and bacon and bologna and salami and hot dogs and pepperoni and jerky and all that stuff's gotta
Right.
go. Okay,
Right,
no
okay.
oils, no salad dressing, no cooking oils. Absolutely no wheat, rye, rye, and oats. There are no such things as good oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. And then no buckwheat. Buckwheat does not have any gluten in it, but it does have Fago, F-A-G-O pyrines in there, which are very, very bad, worse than gluten. No sugar of any kind. Absolutely no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. And also carbonated water. Bubbly water's
Oh.
got to go because it
Okay.
neutralizes your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb nutrition. Then, and digest food. Then, of course, you need salt. We have the Himalayan salt back in now. We also have the seasoned salt from Australia. We have the Himalayan salt from the Himalayan mountains. They have over 28, almost 30 something different minerals in there. So salt your food to taste with those. Do not stop taking salt. You cannot make stomach acid without salt. Hydrochloric acid requires sodium chloride. Okay. If you have a doctor who says stop taking salt, get a different doctor. Then you also need to take Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. That's 3 words. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, not Ultimate Daily tablets, but Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And I want you to take those 3 twice a day. They'll support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, everywhere in your body. Okay. And so you get the blood flowing through there, and blood pressure comes down. Everything works better, including your liver. And the liver has an enormous capacity to heal itself. But you got to stop taking all the bad stuff, which is the main cause of all the liver damage, the biliary cirrhosis. Okay. No nutrition and all the bad stuff. That's why you got biliary cirrhosis.
I have no salt. I don't take any oils except
You
for
should be
little olive
taking
oil.
salt. Salt is,
I mean, excuse me, Himalayan salts. I don't take any junk food, sugars, and the only thing is olive oil and fish oil. No oil with anything, nothing.
no oils.
Okay.
If
And
you
then
have
where
any
do I?
oils, yeah, give them to your doctor
Okay.
with love.
And then where do I've no, this is also new to me. Where to the store that I go to, and what are the books that I need to get? Like,
Okay.
how do I learn?
Okay, Rebecca, tell her on the air so everybody else hears it too. What numbers should she call to get a hold of the books and also the products?
All right, Stevie, and everybody who is on with us who have never spoken to anybody about longevity, you may go to dailywithdoc.com, and there you will find contact us. And one of our certified holistic health coaches can help you get all of the products that Dr. Wallach is mentioning, or design a protocol specifically for you. So, Stevie, thank you so much for jumping over from YouTube,
you.
Dr. Wallach. I know that you have to get going. We appreciate your time with us. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day.
Thank
And
you.
everybody, we're here because we care. We're here because we have felt the results from the products that are being spoken of, and Dr. Wallach's philosophy and the research that has been brought to us through many different avenues. You can find Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. That's drjwallach.com. And that is the best place to get Dr. Wallach's books, because all of his publications can be found there. And he also has staff there at Wellness Publications that can help you. If you're not doing the whole internet thing, you can go ahead and contact them. And let me give you their phone number, because it's in the back of the Wallach Revolution, is a list of all of his most popular publications, even all the CD titles, which we're getting those put into audio, so that you can do a digital download. But the number for drjwallach.com for Wellness Publications is 800-755-46 So if I could have my co-hosts come on with me today, I just want to give them a special shout out as everything went nice and smooth. I greatly appreciate all that they do in the background. So we have Sherry, we have Marilyn, and we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez. All of these ladies are so instrumental in making sure that this program goes without a hitch. Now, we've learned a lot of new technology the last few weeks, and Ruth Ellen has done absolutely fabulous as we do all of this troubleshooting and getting everything figured out. And if you have technical skills and you have not spoken to anybody about longevity products and you're looking to make a little bit of extra money and use your skills when it comes to technology, when it comes to computers, any of those things, we are looking for help. Okay, I'm throwing that out there. We are not afraid to ask for help because Dr. Wallach's mission goes way beyond us. We are part of a community and we welcome those who want to be part of a community and share their God-given skills to help their community and go beyond their community. So go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact us and send me a message and say, hey, I have skills. Let's do this. I want to help. Or get back with the person that shared this program with you and they can help you get connected into the systems that they have as well. So again, my name is Becca Dukes. Shout out to all of you great coaches out there who are spreading the message and helping others find better health in a world where we are just bombarded by convenience, which is empty, null, and void of the nutrition that we need, not just to survive, but to thrive. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.